Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today we're taking a look at the 2025 redesigned Forester. Now this is a limited, so one step under the full load Premier in that sapphire blue. I absolutely love this color on the Foresters. So for the redesign, it's a new exterior body, upgraded interior, they updated the engine, still a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated. New front end is one of the biggest things you'll notice right away on the Forester. Definitely a little bit of a departure from the previous generation. The grille is definitely different. On the Limited, we get that metallic gray on the front grille. Logo is flat. There's no rounding to it like previously. Kind of a flat-faced logo. New headlights, still LED steering responsive, still get high beam assist. And they've got these new style fog lights as well. We have lots of these hexagonal patterns, and gray is kind of the highlight or low light on the Forester. But in that blue, I think it complements it beautifully. Mirror caps are all gray painted on the Limiteds. We get exclusive 18-inch wheels, and I actually quite like these new style wheels. Still have 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and we get the cladding around the wheel arches, wheel wells, whatever area you want to call it, functional vents. The painted mirror caps have integrated turn signals. And then up top here, we do have roof rails with integrated tie downs front and rear. And I'll give you that side profile again. Still very, very boxy. A little bit of a departure from how boxy the previous gen was, but still a good looking SUV style crossover. As I mentioned, hexagonal pattern. You have the texture along the bottom, and of course ringed in that metallic gray. Fuel door. It's on the rear passenger side, just like normal. And if the driver door is unlocked, this is unlocked. If I lock the driver door, click lock, top button, doesn't open. Subaru logo's unlock, pops open. Easy to use, running, regular, 87, nothing fancy, don't need to run premium, anything like that. They've moved the symmetrical full-time all-wheel badge up top here on either side, which I actually don't mind, I quite like it. Spoiler is integrated, it's body colored. We've got new taillights, and it has this black metallic painted strip that leads to the other tail light. And I actually quite like these tail lights, and you can see a lot of that hexagonal pattern. It does say Subaru in there, just in case there's any question what it is. We've got integrated backup sensors in the rear bumper, and they will apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour in reverse. Terrifying when it happens. More hexagonal patterns. Rear right is your exhaust cutout. Now, we also have Forester debossed across the back, so we don't have a badge on the bottom right. We just have a blacked out badge that says Subaru on the rear left, and you still get that square boxy rear end. Now we have the kick gate. So long as the key is on your person, you walk up, kicking motion, back up, it beeps and then opens. It's important that you back away from the Forester because it senses the key moving away. If you don't move back up, it's not going to open. And just like the previous gen, we get a ton of storage. They've utilized the space better than the previous gen, so there is a similar amount of storage, but better utilization. Privacy cover with a nice handle. Easy to use, hides everything from the top of the seats down. This is removable, and you can actually tuck it underneath this false floor and cargo tray, and I actually like this new cargo tray. I like the design on it, the topographic map. Underneath, storage. And you can kind of see where that privacy cover is supposed to go across. And then underneath this styrofoam tray, we've got our spare tire and tools. In each corner, we have hard mount physical tie downs. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side, along with a 12-volt power point on the rear driver's side. To fold the seats down, we simply pull, down it goes. And you can dramatically increase the amount of storage you have in the Forester, which is very, very handy. LED cargo light, you can turn it off or it'll shut off when you close the hatch. And to close it, we have the ability to close, we can close and lock, we can pull down, or if you grab something out of there, kick motion, back up, it beeps 3 times and then folds down. So It's good if your hands are full, getting things in or out. Good look at it. I love this blue on the Forester. I think it accentuates the lines perfectly. Second row. Tons of headroom, tons of legroom, just like before. With the previous gen, tall roof line gives you a ton of headroom for taller passengers, lots of legroom for passengers. Being the Limited, you get the perforated dark leather interior in here. Very, very comfortable seats. They've made it easier to access the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for children. We have a fold-down armrest with integrated cup holders. And something you may have noticed, the headliners are all dark, which is something that a lot of people wanted in the previous ones. We've got 3 map back pockets on the backs of both front seats. Vents out of the center console, in addition to underneath each front seat facing rearward to heat up and cool down the second row more effectively. And the outer 2 seats are heated with high and low settings. If you sit in the middle, in addition to having a sit in the middle, you don't get a heated butt. 2 USB ports to keep everyone connected. It's just for charging. You don't get any audio input from that. We have these tethers, and this is of course easier to do with 2 free hands, but you pull and you can recline these seats. Not a whole bunch, but enough that you could probably take a nap. That's all the way up, and you can fold them down just by doing that. This is textured and is designed to be used as a step if you're loading anything on the roof, if you have crossbars. And they want you standing on that instead of on the tire, because the tire sits inside the fender. You're not going to get as much of your foot on there as you will on there. And I'm pretty much right at the back of the roof rail system, so I'll be leaning, potentially putting myself in a precarious situation. This little black piece of plastic is what this extra side impact crash safety bar ties into. Locks right in there. It's designed to reduce the chance of intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. And look at that rear door card. We've got soft touch materials, soft touch armrest. It's very nice. It's easy on the hands. It feels nice. A little bit of storage with a bottle holder. Child lock if you need it. And it's important to note, child lock on this door is not tied to that door. They are individual. So if you want both done, you have to do them both separately. Solid closing doors, and they have changed the shape of the door handles. Larger, easier access, less likely to mark it up with nails or rings. It is a proximity key, so long as the key's on your person. We've got these lines, you simply touch, and it locks. And I just like to back up, walk forward, hand in the handle, and it unlocks. Front door card looks very, very similar to that of the rear. The soft touch materials, the soft touch armrest. Front 2 windows are auto power windows for front driver, front passenger. Regular power windows for the rear. We've got window lock, your power mirror position. There's a little bit more storage there with the bottle holder, and we do get the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system in the Limited. Of course, we do have patterns throughout the car. There's little Easter eggs like the hiking boots there. I do have a video covering all of those elsewhere on my channel. 2 position memory settings for your power mirror and your power seat adjustment, which is nice. And the seating material is the exact same as in the second row, that leather. And these are the same seats that you get in the Crosstrek, so they're designed to put you in a more neutral position. You're gonna be more relaxed at the end of a long day of driving. And of course, with the memory settings, power driver seat, including lumbar support, height adjustable, very easy to use, very, very comfortable seating. We have the ability to open the rear hatch from the driver's seat. We have a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges, and we can turn off the kick sensor if for some reason you didn't want that. Now on the inside, it is push button start. Keys in my pocket, foot's on the brake, light goes green, foot's not on the brake, light is not green. Green means go. We have blind spot indicators on either side. They illuminate orange when someone's in your blind spot or is going to be in your blind spot momentarily, which is a nice aid. Not a excuse to not shoulder check. And actually, speaking of shoulder checking, visibility is absolutely phenomenal. Virtually no blind spots. They've increased the size of the third window at the rear on each side. Better visibility, and the visibility of the Forester is absolutely phenomenal. New style steering wheel that you see in all of the new updated redesigned Subarus. Left hand side, Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. Volume is now left to right. This toggle here does our small little center display. Gives us different info depending what you want to look at. Source switches from AM to FM to satellite to USB to Bluetooth. We can switch between presets. answer calls, hang up or decline, issue voice commands. The right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and our lane centering. Both of these use these 3 black boxes behind the mirror to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. They also are responsible for automatic emergency braking, which saves you 10% on your basic insurance here in BC. So when I turn on the cruise, I get an image of the Forester, and you'll see there's 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. If you want to follow closer, each time we press this down arrow, it decreases. Lane centering. Above 60 kilometers an hour, if the cameras can see the lines, those gray lines will illuminate white, and it will actually give you gentle steering input to help keep you centered in your lane. It'll help take you through corners. We're not hands-free, that's important to note. It will get mad at you if there's no driver input, you don't have your hands on the wheel, just something to know. Turn that off. Sport and intelligent drive modes. Intelligent is what it defaults to for everyday driving. Sport, exactly what it sounds like. You go faster sooner. Heated wheel, faint orange light there. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera or not, but it does get warm. Heated steering wheel is the best thing ever in the winter. Paddles to upshift and downshift manually if you'd like, to manually select your own gears. We have an 11.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system that you see bore odor incorporated from the rest of the vehicles in our lineup. Top portion, we've got what we're listening to, navigation destination, widgets, gauges, which we can change around. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know I put the same ones each time, because that's what most people like. Easy to change. Weather's part of your satellite radio trial, and then we get access to dual function X mode, which is like 4x4 low in a pickup for that extreme off-road, low speed slogging you may find yourself in. The all-wheel drive system is the best in the world. This just takes a very capable vehicle, makes it more capable. Simple as pressing snow, dirt, deep snow, mud. Works up to 40 kilometers an hour, and if you exceed that, it kicks out and goes back to regular all-wheel drive. Main portion of the screen, we have physical volume and tuning knobs. We've got access to our navigation, which is powered by TomTom. Easy to use. Put it in reverse. Backup camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on, and when I twist this back towards myself, I can clean the backup camera from in the vehicle, which is great. Little open envelope takes you home. We have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in addition to access to the My Subaru app. Settings, car info. There's a second screen. You can turn off the display if you don't like it. You can add additional shortcuts. If you ever have to turn traction control off, it's as simple as that. Down by the home button, we have the ability to disable start-stop. We have auto vehicle hold on the front, which is a brake holder for construction, drive-through, or rush hour traffic. And then we have the ability to hook up 5 different phones to Bluetooth. You can set different driver profiles, lots of customization ability. And we have our climate controls on the bottom. It is dual zone. We do have physical buttons. They go up and down in 0.5 degree increments, or we simply click. We can sync it, we can drag, we can click, we can tap, lots of options. Control where you want your airflow coming from, control if you want max AC, AC, recirculation. And if I don't touch anything for a little bit, it actually disappears. So you don't have to worry about pressing the red X to close out if you're driving. Heated seats, 3 stages for both the driver and passenger. Press and hold to shut it off if you don't want to cycle through from high, medium, low, and off. Big fan strength buttons, hard to miss, which is nice. And below that, we have 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a 10-watt wireless charger. Your phone is going to get warm while charging on that. That's normal, don't be alarmed. Center console, they have changed quite a bit from the previous gen. This drive selector is quite nice. I like it, feels good in the hands. That's full manual mode where you use the paddles. Easy to use. Offset cup holders, much like the Crosstrek. No drink raisers like you find in the Outback and Crosstrek. This is kind of a medium height cup holder, so I feel the Crosstrek ones are shorter and the Outback ones are deeper, and that's why they needed those drink raisers. Not so much in this. Park brake, you pull up to activate, and if your foot's on the brake and you push down, it comes off. 12-volt power point for any charging needs. Underneath, ahead of the armrest, little rubberized storage area, and then this is a soft touch armrest. really deep storage, no power points in there, but there's a place to run cords out of. So it is nice if you have, a power bank or something like that in there you want to keep out of sight, out of mind. It's good for that. We have more hexagonal texturing throughout the cab. Really nice texture. I really like that. And I do like this little light wood strip. I think it adds to that. It's a nice finishing touch. It's a very refined vehicle overall. My favorite feature ever is the auto dimming rear view mirror. No switch to flick if someone's got their brights on behind you, just automatically dims based on a light sensor. It's fantastic. There's an integrated compass, and we have the HomeLink system. You can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror, so you don't have to carry an opener with you, which is nice. Above that, we have our sunroof control. It is the panoramic. It's slide only, not tilt. Manual shade, but if you drag the glass back, that drags with it. LED map lights. We've got SOS and roadside. That's part of your 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. We've got card holders on both sun visors. Vanity mirror with light. And these are actually larger than the previous ones, which I like. I like the coverage they offer. And we have a side extender if the sun's directly at my left, or it's at the passenger's right-hand side. Now, I'll show you under the hood. I'm just gonna shut it off. Hood release, bottom left. Little image, just reach back a little further than you think. And up front. Hand in, facing down, move from right to left. And it's just right there. 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine producing 180 horsepower. And pretty much everything the average consumer is going to touch is in yellow. So we have our dipstick, we've got our brake fluid, we've got washer fluid, engine oil fill, coolant, filters top mount, which is really nice. And you do have really easy access to the air filter. And you'll notice it looks like it's sitting really, really far down in that engine bay. The engine's actually the same height as the previous gen Forester. They've just raised the rest of the car around it. It's got a very low center of gravity, helps with handling. So that is a quick walk around of the 2025, I'm so used to saying 2025 Subaru Forester Limited in that sapphire blue pearl. Full load, one under the Premier, 8.7 inches minimum ground clearance, and of course all of that Subaru legendary safety and all-wheel drive. Good looking vehicle, very, very refined, definitely an upgrade over the previous gen. If you have a current gen, I do recommend you come try driving, or a previous gen, I recommend you come driving one, feel the difference, see the difference. It's quite an improvement. So thank you for sticking with me and following through on my 25 Forester Limited walkthrough. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this car behind me here, any of the tech in it, any of the features, something you'd like me to cover more closely in a future video, put it in the comments below. Love hearing from you guys. If you're in British Columbia or close to British Columbia, willing to make the trip to Prince George for a Subaru, please reach out. I'd love to help you find your perfect car. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.